everybody. Welcome back to my channel and to another video. I'm coming to you from the future of when this video was filmed, just to add some context. So the video originally started out as like a Eve's first positive reinforcement liberty session thing, and then I decided to bring Merlin in and do a session with him as well. So this is more like a positive reinforcement training video, showing the difference between kind of level of engagement and interest and willingness with a horse who's new to it and who has been trained using more traditional methods, negative reinforcement, versus a horse like Merlin who has been trained with positive reinforcement for the last going on 2 years, just to show the difference in level of engagement. And I also just wanted to jump in and add that this video is the first of what is hopefully going to be a video-filled December. A lot of people in December do Vlogmas, which is like, some people do one video a day or one video every 2 days in the lead up to Christmas. Now, I'm not going to commit and say I'm going to do one every 2 days, but I am hoping to do at least 2 videos a week, maybe 3, depending on what's going on. And I have a lot of really cool ideas. So we hope that you enjoy. And today I'm doing something very exciting with Eve. I'm letting her loose in the arena for the first time, and we're going to try to start doing some stuff at Liberty. So my goal for today is just to let her kind of sniff around and get her bearings, because I don't think she's ever been let loose in the arena before. And then I might try some targeting. She's never done targeting before. At this point she knows what the click means, because I have been using positive reinforcement to help with barn anxiety and stuff like that, but we haven't started doing any proper positive reinforcement behaviors that I would normally start with, like targeting or the neutral head position or something like that. Hi. So yeah, I did mention a few weeks ago that Merlin is going to be going on a bit of a winter break, and that this lady is going to be, no? Okay. This lady is going to be my priority. But in the last couple of weeks, she has been a lot more anxious being inside the arena and in the barn than she was in weeks past. A lot has changed. The sides of the arena have gone up. The weather is a lot colder. This is her first winter in Canada, so she's adjusting to a lot. She's adjusting to temperature changes that she never really would have had experience with before. So I think for December, we're going to kind of take a step back and not focus on riding as much, because at this point I know that she goes fairly well under saddle, and we're going to take the time to address those anxieties and work on some basics and groundwork, and just kind of keep building a bit more of a connection between the two of us, so that when she feels anxious under saddle, she turns to me for guidance and for support. But she's seeming pretty chill right now, which is good. Hey, you're pretty chill. There's even a lot going on outside. There's a tractor moving hay around. You gonna come with me? Good girl. So yeah, I just want to introduce the basics of some positive reinforcement groundwork, and tonight's that first session. Good. Good girl. Oop, you dropped it, honey. Oh, you dropped it. Yes. Hello. Hey. But as she does, she's standing by the door. Evie. We're not leaving quite yet, my dear. No. We're not leaving quite yet, silly. Yes. Pretty lady. So one of the points of positive reinforcement is to give the horse a say in their training. Right now, Eve is coming up to me and then leaving, coming up to me and then leaving, and I'm not going to force her to work with me. Maybe tonight I just stand and reward her every time she comes near me, and that's all we do. I need to give her enough time to realize that I'm not going to force her to do anything, and that every choice that she makes is of her own volition. So that I'm really happy with, because she came up to me and she stayed with me for longer than she had before. She stayed with me for like a minute and a half, which is great. She's just not used to being loose in the arena, so it might take her a bit of time to realize that she can, play around and leave the bottom end, but she's hanging by the door, so I can tell that she wants to, leave and be back with her friends. So the goal for tonight and in sessions to come is just to make the arena a fun and safe place to be, which will hopefully lower her overall anxiety level and help with willingness in riding.
Good lady.
Okay, so I'm going to end that there. I'm thrilled with that. She, at the end, was starting to come towards me when I kissed, which over the last few weeks has kind of been our recall cue, trying to get her to learn to come to me in the paddock to help with some issues with catching her. And tonight it worked. I went out, she walked right up to me, put the halter on. I'm going to get her blankie back on and we'll go out. I'm so thrilled with that. Tonight I think was a good first step towards teaching her that, one, she has autonomy in work. She can choose whether she wants to engage or not. Could work on recall. And also I introduced targeting a little bit. I was just about to go grab Merlin to do some liberty work because I have about half an hour before the arena is needed her lessons, and I realized I'm almost out of treats. So I thought while I break up some more treats that I would debrief about my session with Eve. Yeah, for a first session, I'm really thrilled. I kind of had a plan of trying to start teaching her a basic behavior like targeting or something like that, but because she's still, like, I've been using positive reinforcement to help desensitize and help to counter condition and decrease her burn anxiety, but it's all been things where she's been in the cross ties or when I've been leading her or things like that, and she hasn't had the ability to leave and come back, and to realize that when we're working at Liberty and stuff like that, you know, she has a choice, and that when she comes to me, good things happen. So I'm starting to try to teach her a recall cue, which is one long kiss followed by 2 short kisses, and it's been working well in the field to get her to be easier to catch. One important thing about working with positive reinforcement is to be flexible enough in your training plans that you can adjust to the horse you have that day, which I think is the same for any type of training, but it's especially important with positive reinforcement because sometimes a horse might have triggers stacked and you might not be able to work on the behavior that you were planning on working on. So today, Eve I let her loose and she didn't barely even leave the bottom of the arena. She was sticking by the door, so I wanted to make leaving the door a positive thing. So anytime she came near me, I clicked and treated, and then eventually I started using the recall cue that she's learning to encourage her to leave the door and come to me. And then every time that she would come to me, I would engage her in trying to target or to walk a few steps next to me, things like that, to help encourage her to stay with me. But if she left, that's completely fine. And in the about 15 minutes that we worked on it, the time in between her leaving and coming back, like choosing to disengage from the training and then choosing to come back and engage again, the time in between those decreased a lot, where she would leave and then come back, you know, 30 seconds later, which is awesome. When she would come, she would stay for longer and engage in more training behaviors. So yeah, I'm super thrilled with that as a first proper positive reinforcement session at Liberty. I'm excited to show the process with her kind of from the beginning because I wasn't making YouTube videos when I started doing positive reinforcement with Merlin. So this will be a cool process to show how quickly you can move along with positive reinforcement once the horse understands they have a choice to engage in the work. That's like a huge percentage of the reason why Merlin is so willing and why I've been able to do so many incredible things with him in the 7 months that he's been under saddle, is because he knows that he has a choice in his work and he finds work fun and engaging. I'm gonna go grab Merlin and we're gonna do a short session in the arena. Played around with him outside the other day a little bit and he remembered side passing and hip targeting and all that stuff. So we're just going to kind of play around. I'm not going to start anything new. I'm just going to see what he remembers of behaviors that he already knows, because we haven't really played around properly at Liberty outside of a few minutes here and there in his paddock in quite a while. So Mr. Merlin and I are, oh goodness, hello. Hi. That was exuberant. Do we have some energy? I think we have a few bucks to get out before we start working. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, you can see a huge difference between him and Eve in terms of willingness to work. The minute he sees me with the treat pouch and he's loose in the arena, he knows that we're gonna play around and have some fun. Come on, dude. No, leave it, Merlin. I swear. Back up. Back. Good boy. Up. Up.
Oh, 06, really even started. So much in common. Too much for you to just stop. All I wanna say is
That's a good 15-16 minute training session where we reviewed a lot of behaviors, but I think you can see the difference between the level of engagement and willingness with a horse who's been doing this for 2 years and a horse it was her first session. Let's see if he'll do it. Merlin, line up. Line up. Line up. Do you remember it? Oh, you clever pony. Typical. Leave a whip on the ground. He puts it in his mouth. Merlin. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video seeing the difference between Merlin and Eve, a new horse to positive reinforcement versus a more experienced one. I thought that it might be a kind of interesting video to do to show the difference in like the level of engagement and interest and willingness to work and eagerness to work, because once they start realizing that they have a say and that they get rewards for doing these fun things, they start to enjoy it and they start to actually want to work. And in some cases, they even will prefer to work for the reward rather than just taking the reward as is. So that's definitely the case with Merlin. Me and this one. Hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe down below, and make sure to join because there's going to be lots of fun videos this month. Like I said, I'm not going to commit to doing one every other day. I am going to try to do at least twice a week. Anyways, from this cutie pie and myself, we hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Bye.